Hello. How to draw a cumulative frequency graph? This is a common question. So let's look at this particular exam style question. We have the weight in kg of some cats and the frequency for each range of weight. So first of all, from the frequency, we need to make another column for cumulative frequency, and we need to find out what they are. So we start off with 8, the first frequency here, and then the next cumulative frequency is going to be 8 plus 10, 18. And then the next one is going to be 18 plus 21. So you keep on adding the previous sum to the next frequency. And that is 39. And then you add 39 to the next frequency. That gives you 58. And that's how we go on. Add 58 to the next, 71, and then finally add 71 to the last, and that gives us 80. So now our cumulative frequency numbers are ready. We're ready to draw the graph. Now, if you take a look at the weight, this is given in ranges. So it's from 0 to 1. So when we plot the graph, what do we take on the x-axis? We take the weight on the x-axis, and we have to take the upper class limit. So we take 1 and we take 8 to draw the first point. So here is the graph. So we have weight on the x-axis, and we have cumulative frequency on the y-axis, and the first point is 1 and 8. So that is the first point that we plot. So remember, it's always the upper class limit and your cumulative frequency that goes on to the graph. So next, it's going to be 2 and 18. Two and 18 is right there. And then 3 and 39. So we have 3 here and 39, because each small square is 1 unit. So 39 is going to be just 1 square down below 40. And then 4 and 58. 4, 58, so it's going to be 2 squares down below 60. And then 5 and 71, 6 and 80. So we'll do that quickly. 5 and 71 is right there. 6 and 80. So these are the points. Now you need to carefully join them. So that's done, and you just stop there. You don't need to extend this any further. You just stop it right there on the last point. And also, you need to look at your lower range of the first data, the lower limit of your first range actually, which is 0, and you need to join this first dot to that point, the 0. So this is your cumulative frequency graph. And then now let's look at some of the following questions after this. So here we have a question that says, use your cumulative frequency graph to find an estimate for the interquartile range. Right, so interquartile range is the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. Now, what is lower quartile and upper quartile? Well, the lower quartile is at 1/4 of your total frequency. So the total is 80. So the lower quartile is a quarter or 1/4 or 25% of your total frequency, whichever way you can remember. So that is 20. And then the upper quartile is at 3/4 or 3/4 or at 75% of the total frequency. So that is going to be at 60. All right, so now we need to go back to our graph and find the numbers for lower and upper quartile. So the lower quartile was at 20. So you need to take your ruler and draw a nice straight line and then come down so it's going to hit at 2.1. That's a 1, by the way. Anyway, and then we go up to 60, which is the upper quartile. Draw a nice straight line with your ruler and come down to find out where it hits on the x-axis. So it's going to be somewhere, well, my line is very bad, not straight at all because I haven't got a ruler, but it's going to hit at 4.1. So this is your upper quartile and that is your lower quartile. And so all we need to do is just subtract these two numbers. So 4.1, which was the upper quartile, take away the lower quartile, 2.1. So the interquartile range is 2. All right, so this is like an estimate. It's not an exact answer. So you could get something in between 1.9 to 2.1. Then you've got the right answer. So that's how we calculate the interquartile range. And even though this question does not ask for the median, I would like to show how to find the median from the cumulative frequency graph. So the median happens to be at 50% or at half of the frequency. So median will be at 50% or half of the total frequency. So half of 80 will give us 40. And so if you go back to your graph and you draw a straight line at 40, and then if you go down, the median will be 3 kilograms. Okay, so this is all that you need to know about cumulative frequency graphs, how to draw them, how to calculate or figure out the median, how to estimate the interquartile range. All right, so that's the basics of cumulative frequency graphs. I hope you've enjoyed the video and understood what I'm trying to say. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me by comment, and I'll be able to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.